Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. We'll get started early today. Just a couple of things before I do start. If you're watching today, my YouTube channel is Creative Gems. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love you to do so. I have a Facebook group called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials, if you'd like to join that. All my videos from my YouTube channel go into there, as well as the PDFs for all of these cards. The card I'm doing today, I've cased from Lisa Curcio. She's an American demonstrator and I've watched a lot of her videos before. I've changed a few little things on my interpretation of the card, so I hope you enjoy it today. I'll just go through a couple of things with you. This is the card. We'll sit it up for you to have a look at. It does sit up when you push it a little bit. It's quite top heavy sometimes, but it will sit up eventually. Just have to let it sit and take itself. That's the card we're doing. It sits up like that. It's a shadow box here, and you've got a floating, a little floating frame in the center here. I've decorated it with a few flowers. So we shall get started. I'll go through all the pieces with you that I've used. Just leave that to the back a little bit. I'm just trying a new camera stand today, so hopefully it's working okay. The paper I'm using is this new Meandering Meadows. It's not live to customers yet. It will be in a couple of days' time. It's up for pre-order for demonstrators only, but you will be able to get it. Oh, actually, when you see this video, it will be available because I'm recording it, so it will be available by the time you see my video. And as usual, I've got all my pieces prepped. These are my measurements that you can either take a screenshot or they will be in the description box of my video today. So we start with the main piece, and I've already scored this, but I will show you the scoring when we get to it. This main piece, I've used black for this one. It's 11 inches by 4 1/4, and then the front mat on that, which are these pieces here. I've got this one here. So the mats are this fresh freesia behind. It measures 4 by 3 3/4, and the piece on the bottom of that, which is this one here, I think, yes, I've got the right one. The mat on that one is 4 by 1 1/4. They're the two cardstock mats. The DSP on the front of those is 3 7/8 by 3 5/8. That's that piece there. And the bottom is 3 7/8 by 1 1/8. And that's those two. They will go on the front of the card. Just leave that aside for a sec. My inside piece, which is the floating frame, behind the floating frame, sorry, that's this piece here. That will go, that piece in the back there. I have put a mat there, whereas Lisa didn't. She just put the DSP in there. But I've got a mat as well as DSP, and I've used the fresh freesia again. That measures 4 by 3 3/4, and then the DSP on the top is 3 7/8 by 3 5/8. I've alternated my pattern on that one and that one. I think sometimes you can use the same pattern that you've used on the front, but I chose another coordinating pattern for that one. My basic white panel, which will be on this front one here, it measures 4 by 3 3/4, and the little strip along the front, which measures 4 by 3/8 of an inch, and that's that front piece there, and I've decorated that piece there. Then we go to the pop-up section, which is this one here. It's in the black again, same as the main. It measures 7 inches by 4 1/4, and we'll score that. I've scored it already, but I will show you when we get to it, to scoring. And then the floating panel, which will be this piece here. I have die cut this piece out as well. It will sit inside, whereas Lisa just did, oh no, actually that one goes on the front. It's the smaller one here that will go inside. That's that one there. It's 3 1/8 by 1 5/8, and the basic white piece on the top of that, which has got my greeting on, it's 2 1/2 by 1, and I'll show you the dies in a minute that I've used. That's those two. And then the front, I've just cut the front a decoration piece. I haven't got that listed on here, but just whatever you want to decorate your front with, I'm going to put that on there on the front. And then a strip of acetate, which is a window sheet, as we call it. It measures 3 7/8 by 1/2 inch, and you can barely see that, but that's the acetate piece. So we shall get started, and I'll just tell you the scoring measurements to start with. We won't need that there. The stamp sets I'm using for the greetings, I've got this Sending Hugs for the front. I am going to use these little spotty bits with some Versamark. I don't know if you can see it on this one, but around here I have stamped with Versamark just some little images of flowers around there. Very hard to see. Not sure if you can see that. And I'm going to use just the spots for this one, the same as I have on here, but it'll be in Versamark. And then I've used Thinking of You from my Quiet Meadow. There was a Thinking of You in this one as well, but I like this one because it's in one line, which I needed it to fit on the front, or inside, sorry. That will fit in there. It would have probably been a bit tight on 2 lines, so I've used that one. That's those two. And the dies we're using are these Countryside Corner dies. Now I've already, that's my front one, which I'm going to use this one. This is going to be cut inside as well. I'll show you that in a minute. But I've used the 3 sizes, those 1, 2, 3, the 3 smaller ones. So I'll put those out of there. That's the one I need. So that's those. Now scoring. I'll just get my trimmer. Scoring on the main piece, 1 1/2 and 5 1/2, wherever I put my main piece, which is here. So no, that's not the right piece. Main section on the long, oh yes it is, sorry, got the right piece. A little bit of fluff in the track there, but we'll get that out in a sec. Just use my pick tool. Doesn't want to come out. It's gone. Okay, we're going to score at 1 1/2, which is there. I've already scored mine, so I'll just run it up and down, and then 5 1/2, which is over there. And you can fold those both into mountain folds, like so. Now we can decorate that piece. I'll just burnish that. And that one. So that will sit like that. That's my front section with this smaller piece at the bottom. And we've already stuck those together. The main part is the difficult part, not difficult, but it's the tricky one. Now I have cut this paper so it flows on with the pattern, so that flowed on from there. That was cut from the bottom of that. So if you use this paper, or if you use a directional paper, make sure you get your direction the correct way. I'm just going to adhere those two on because there's nothing else to do with those. This is a rather quick card to make, and it's also very effective when you open it up. So that one will sit up in that top section. You've just got the little 1/8 inch border all the way around. And this piece will go down the bottom. I don't normally use black, but in this paper it does say that there's black in it. I think this bottom piece here is pretty much black. So that one will sit down there. I love this paper. It's really, really pretty, and there's lots and lots of designs in it. So that's that piece. We'll do the decoration on the front after. Now this piece can go in as well. This goes in at the top of this section here. Just make sure I've got that right. It will go to the, oh no, we're wrong. It'll go up here, which is that one in there. So I'll put that one in because that's got to go. You can put it in after, but it's easier to put it in before you put the shadow box on the front. It's going up in here, where that in between those score lines that we just did. So that's centered in there. That's just a sort of a generic pattern. It's not got, looks like clouds in the sky. This piece will go down the bottom, but we'll leave that for a minute. I'm going to do this piece here and the scoring on that, and I prefer to do it one side and then it's not that, it's 1.5 and 5.5, exactly the same as you did. It's a shorter piece, but on the long side you're going to score at 1.5 and 5.5, which is the same as this first black piece that you did there. 1.5 and 5.5, and the folding will be the same. So you're folding in both in mountain folds, like so. Now this is where I'm going to have to put this on, but I'm going to go to the back and tape it down. It centers between, you can leave these two pieces open, but it's going to center between this section here in the middle. So you're going to make it even up there. I just eyeball it, it's pretty close, but I'll center it when I get over there, and I'll tape it down so it doesn't move. But when you put it through, make sure you've got these open, because it will cut. If you've got them folded under, it'll cut your other pieces otherwise. So just make sure that's centered in there, and I'll be back in 1 sec. I'll just run that through. Maybe a minute. I bring my machine over, but it wobbles my desk too much to I'm going to tape this down so it doesn't move. I'll just give you a quick look at the way I've taped it. So that's it taped down to the center. So I've pretty much, actually I could move it down a little bit. It's not quite centered. Black is really hard to see where the score lines are. Actually, if I fold those under while I'm taping, I'll get a better view. So that's like so. And then I'll run it through. It's pretty close. Only takes a minute. Right, we're back again. So that piece has been cut out completely. I'll just take this tape off gently. It is a low tack tape, but if you pull it too hard, it does tear your cardstock. Only because it's pressed it down firmly when you run it through your machine. Plus you can use it quite a few times. Just want to do it gently. All good. So that piece there, it's just a spare piece, you won't need that. And that's in the center of that, pretty much. Now what you're going to do, you're going to get that piece of acetate, wherever I put it, which it could be fun to find. I did have it a minute ago. It's invisible. Here it is. And I'm going to use glue dots. So over on the back side, put it inside here. Flip your card over so where you've cut, your cut line is still to the front. So you're working on the inside, and it's going to sit pretty much in the centre of that. And I'm just going to use some glue dots to hold it in place. Put some of those on there. These are super strong, so it's easy to get it to stick. I hope everyone's had a lovely weekend. So I'm centering that. It does come a bit above the score line there, or it might be just on the score. I think I cut this piece a little bit shorter than normal, but so long as it's in the centre, centered this way, it's pretty much right. It doesn't have to be exact. And then from there you can't see that piece. It's going to hold these two pieces, and I'm just going to put them flat in here. This is my smaller greeting, and it will sit on this one. I think when Lisa did it, she just put she didn't die cut this piece. She just put a rectangle piece in there. I thought I'd die cut it to match it up. So that will sit on there. And I'm going to put glue dots on that again to hold it. It's easier if you put the glue dots on your acetate, because then you'll know it's going to catch where you want it to sit. I'll just put 3 down the centre of that, like so. And then we're just going to centre this inside that frame. You can use your grid lines as well. I think it's pretty much lined up. Probably over that way a little bit. And then we can stick that down. Now these are already folded. See, and that looked like it's floating there. So we shall just get that out of the road. Now this is going to sit, actually I'm going to stamp this first. This is what I mentioned before. You can do stamping with Versamark, and it just looks like a watermark on your card. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to fold those under, but I don't want to stamp down in here. I'm just going to stamp around that frame, like so, just with a few dots. You won't see them that much. When they dry, you'll see them a bit more when they dry. And it doesn't dry sticky either. Fold that under so I don't catch the bottom piece. I only want it around the greeting frame. You can use any stamp. You could use a little flower or stars, or just go all around the edge of that. So you probably can't see it yet, but when it dries, it just gives it a bit of a break and not just plain cardstock. So that's that one. Then we can glue these together. So this one is going to come up here. It will glue on top of that one, or underneath that one I should say. So I'm going to put my glue along this top panel here. And then just line that up like so. If you lay it flat, it's much easier. Put it just above that score line, along across there, and press that down. And then this one will come down, and we can put glue on here, and the best way to do it is just bring this up and fold it flat. So we'll put glue along just inside that score line and your side edges on that piece. right to the edge of the score line. Bring this bottom of the card up and close it shut, making sure it's nice and parallel on the sides, and stick that down. And then when you open it up, it sits up like so. This one's sitting up better because the other one, I think I've got a lot more happening on here. It's only those 3 extras, but just seems to be a bit top. Oh, I've put some embellishments up here as well. Just seems to be a bit top heavy at the moment, but it will sit flat like so. And then your white piece can go on. This can come flat like so. That piece there is butt up against that score line inside, but if you did it the way I showed, with it lying flat like that, you can't get it wrong. Then this white panel will go on here with your little strip of DSP on it. That's your writing panel. It's just like a card, but it's got a shadow box inside. Very effective. You could put any sort of image in there. It doesn't have to be a greeting. You could put a flower in there if you wanted to. Just straighten that a little bit. And that's the completed card. I don't think I got any embellishments out, so I will decorate it. Oh, I'll put this piece on the front. I'm going to put that up on dimensionals as well. Just get a pack out. I'm not going to put ribbon on this one. I wasn't real fussed on that, excuse me, the ribbon I used on that last one, but it's not too bad. Just put some of those on the back. Take the backs off those. And we'll just centre this on here. Actually, I'm going to move it up a bit so we catch a lot of that design down the bottom. Probably a bit big for the front, covered up most of my design, but it's not too bad. This is the pretty piece down here. That's just clouds up there. And I will put some embellishments, probably embellishments around the greeting. I'll just see what I've got. Oh, I know what I have got. The new, where I put them. These come with that suite. I can put some birds on it. Or dragonflies. Excuse me. My voice is going a little bit croaky today. So these come in this same suite. They're called adhesive back dragonflies and birds. I'm just going to use a couple of birds up here. These are really pretty and they're nice and flat too. Them all on here. You can see them better on there. That one's just about flying upside down. It's hard to tell which way they go. They go that way. There we go. Actually, I'll move him down a bit. And that's my card for today. I hope you enjoyed that. It's fairly quick to do. Nothing too complicated in it. And don't forget, if you wish to get to my PDFs for these cards and lots more that are in there, ones that I do on my group page, Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials, there is 2 questions that you need to answer. One, why you wish to join the group, and the other is that you agree to the rules. So if you hit both of those or answer both of those, I shall approve and you can hop in and have a look. So I hope you enjoyed that one today. Very simple card to do, but quite effective. Thanks for joining me again, and I shall see you all again next week. Bye for now.